Hello, my name is lujoBoy and welcome to this little tutorial video in which I'll be doing a tutorial on this awesome looking Elven starter base. Now on Panelli, I've created an Elven styled starter base that was a little bit too big for a starter base, I would say. And well, since then I've wanted to create something a little bit smaller using the same block palette, because well, I've basically fallen in love with the block palette, and well, this is the design I came up with. It's fairly small and it's something that anybody should be able to build at the beginning of the game. I think yeah, it will only require a little bit more material gathering and a little bit more, let's say, grinding put into it, because well, we're using some blocks that will be a little bit harder to get, like warped. Maybe you will need to go in the nether. It's not in the end, in the nether. And we are also using the smooth sandstone, which needs to be smelted. So I think that was enough babbling for now, and well, I'll go in super flat world and we will do this tutorial. So here we are in a super flat world. I've pasted this build over here, and also I've prepared the layout and everything for this build. Also, as you can see, I've turned off the shaders so that we can see a little bit better as what we're doing. So for the starters, we have a block palette over here that we're using for this build, and you can clearly see how those blocks work together and how the textures also function together as well. And also in this chest I've put some miscellaneous blocks that we will be using in this build, so that you know what you need to prepare and what you need to have. So for now I'm going to start by building the base of this build, or this house actually. Now before we start, here is the layout of our build. You can take a closer look at it, and well, you can try to replicate something simple, something similar, let's say, or the same thing, so that you have a little bit easier time building this. So in the hotbar you can see some blocks that we'll be using for this build. So stripped warped wood, some spruce planks, and some stripped spruce logs. Also here are some other miscellaneous blocks that we maybe will be using in this part of the build. So for now we're gonna start by creating that little base for our house by building a little bit of a, let's say, column over here, 2 blocks up over here, like that, and then in between placing our stripped warped wood, so that we get a nice line over here. And we are going to separate it by placing a plank over here, and well, we're going to have a spruce stair over here and a spruce stair over here. After that you can take some spruce trapdoors to give it a little bit more 3D look. We're going to place down there, and we are going to place a spruce trapdoors on our spruce stairs. After that, in between on empty spaces you can place some spruce signs. Alright, with that, this phase is over. You can copy the same thing on the other side. And well, with that, we can basically go on the other side. This one, that's the back side, which will be basically the same thing, just a little bit bigger, as you can see. So the same thing, and we're gonna separate it with a little bit of a line. This time we have 3 spruce planks, and actually no, we have 3 spruce stairs and 2 spruce planks. I can still hear them, and I've just noticed I've placed those in a wrong direction, like this, and then again do the same thing with trapdoors and signs. So with that done, we can go on and start creating the front face of our house with a little bit of a porch on the beginning. So for the porch we are going to be using a stripped wood over here, so we're going to have a stripped wood here and 2 over here, same thing on the other side mirrored. Of course we are going to start by creating the porch, so mirroring everything on the other side like so, and then we are going to have a column over here and a column over here. And on this side we are not going to be filling this with some stripped warped logs. We're gonna fill this in with some stripped dark oak logs, like so. And then on this side you can fill this in with some stripped warped logs, like so. And then you can place a plank here, and then a stair here, and mirror the same thing on the other side. After that we basically do the same thing that we did over here on this side. So as you can see, the only difference we have here is that the stair is facing inwards rather than outwards, like so. Mirror the same thing on the other part. Okay, so we mirrored everything. We can then start filling in this porch, so you can create some kind of fencing over here, like so. And you can place a stripped spruce wood over here, if I can pronounce things correctly. And after that you can fill this area with some planks, and also fill this area with some planks as well. And well, in between we are going to have on this side some slabs. So if you take some slabs, and then you can just place your slabs in here to create another staircase that you can go up to. And well, after that you have this little texture on top. You can cover it with some trapdoors if you wish to, or you can change it for some spruce wood. Also be careful if you're changing it to get back the sign, like so. I'm gonna keep the trapdoor on. Okay, now the only thing that's left to do is to do those little corners. So for the corners we're gonna have some stripped warped logs, like so, and some warped stems on top. And then you're gonna go on each of those warp stems. You can punch out that sign and put some trapdoors to create a little bit of a line to have a nice transition to the wall of our house and to this texture. So now we can start with building the walls for our house. Now, before that, I would recommend you to fill in this area. So when you finished with filling in and creating the floor for your house, we are going to go and build the walls for our house. So for the walls, you can see all of the blocks that we'll be using. I even mixed some miscellaneous blocks that we are using for this. And well, for the starters, we are going to start by using the stripped dark oak log. And we are going to start by filling in the columns. So on this block, we are going to have a 5 blocks tall column, like so. Same thing on the other side. In between them we are going to have a 6 blocks tall column, like so, and then we are going to connect them like so. We've created a nice front frame. After that we are going to be using some spruce stairs here and over here, so we have 3 blocks in between them. Same thing on the other side. You can also place a spruce stair over here, and on top of the spruce stair we are going to be using some stripped birch wood or birch logs, placing them like so. After that you can use some warp trapdoors to create windows for your house, like this, and also like this. Now these windows will give you a nice view because you can basically look through them, and they have a nice texture and a nice pattern that fits well with this style of building. After that you can finish this thing off with some trapdoors on our stairs, and also adding a door that I don't have in my hotbar. So here we go, and the front face of our house is finished. After that you can go on to those corners and filling them in with some warp stems. I can see that I forgot to do trapdoors, even though I told you to do so. I didn't do it. Okay, we've done it now. And then we can do the same thing over here, get it to the level of this frame. Okay, after that you can copy the same design over here. You will just maybe have 3 windows instead of a door in the middle on this side, or you can go with the style to have a warp stem in the middle. I've gone for the warp stem in my warp stem. It is a warp stem in my design, and well, you can choose whichever you like. I like warp stems, so I'm going to do the warp stems. So if you're doing warp stems, just be careful to punch out the stair that was here. As you can see, in between the stems, or in between those windows that you will be having, instead of having stripped dark oak logs, we are having stripped birch wood or stripped birch logs. And well, I'm just creating a little bit of a window on this side, and with that this side is also finished. If I want to, I can add some trapdoors here just to match with the entire pattern and to be symmetrical. Alright, after that we can go and create this little side face. So for this we are again going 5 blocks here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Over here as well we are creating a nice frame, then in the middle filling in this part with some stripped birch wood, and after that we are creating the windows with the same pattern as we did before, some spruce stairs in between, 3 blocks in between them, and some warped trap doors like so. After that mirror the same thing on the other side, and then just make those stems go all the way up to this level. So now comes the hardest part of this build and the most detailed part, which is creating the frame for our roof of our Elven house. So with that we are going to start by building this front face of the side because it's a little bit easier and smaller. If you will be following along, we are going to mirror everything immediately, so placing a block right there using some smooth sandstone. After that placing smooth sandstone stairs in the bottom. Right after that, facing downwards, we are placing some smooth sandstone stairs, and on bottom of them we are placing a smooth sandstone slab. After that, doing the same thing on the other side. Right, with that we are going to go and place a stair on top of the block like so, then place a slab on top of that stair. Right after that we are going to placing a stair right here and right here like so, and then later we are going to be facing a stair. We are going to be placing, not facing, placing a stair that will be facing inwards like this. And well, with that you are basically finished with this. Only thing that you need to do is put in some filling right there, and then you can use some spruce for this part to create a little bit of a, let's say, hanging bit like so. So placing a plank here, placing a plank like so, and then using the stairs in this particular order with a little bit of a slab on top to create this little interesting peak. After that you can place some trapdoors in here, and then if you want to, I would recommend this, place a stair right there to top it all off. After that you can then connect everything on this side, so connecting it like this so that this stair is going inwards, and then you can place a smooth sandstone on top of it. After that you can just mirror the same thing on the other side, and well, you can mirror this same exact, let's say, frame design on the other side of this build. So with that I'm going to take one final look at this, and well, you can pause the video if you didn't manage to follow along and maybe copy it by just looking at this. So with this easier side finished, we are going to go on this much more detailed and more complicated side, and a bigger side as well. So for this I would recommend also following along. So again, starting by placing a block here and here. After that we are going to again doing the same thing as we did on the last one, placing a stair like this, and then doing the same thing. Basically we're doing the same thing for the start, so that should be fairly easy for you to do right now. Also you can immediately connect it like so over here with a slab on top, and the same thing on this side with a slab on top like so. Also, you can immediately see that I've miscalculated. You can punch out some of those warped stems, and also you can punch out those logs as well, as they are going to be in the way of us building the roof for this. So continuing on, we are going to have a stair right here and a stair right here. As I said, basically copying the same exact thing we did on this side. Now, after that, we are going to have something a little bit different. So in this case, we're going to have a slab right there and a slab right here. After that, we're going to have a block here and a block here with a stair here and a stair here. And then we are going to be having a slab right there. And actually, it will not be a slab, it will be a block like this. And with that, the first layer of this is finished. We can go on the second pop out or on the second layer. And that one will be going like this. So we're going to have a stair right here and a stair right there with some blocks on top like so. And then we are going to having a smooth sandstone slab on top with another smooth sandstone slab on top as well. Right after that, we have a stair right there and a stair right here with a slab over here. And that finishes the second layer or the second pop out that we have for our roof, or in this case it will be the first pop out, right? It is the first pop out. Okay, so now we are going to go on the third layer of the frame for our roof. So the third layer is going to be having a slab right here and a slab right there. After that, we are going to have a stair facing downwards like so, as well on the other side the same thing. After that, we are going to having a slab on top of that stair, and then we are going to be having some blocks in between, so like this. And with that, we finish the third layer for the frame of our roof. We can now go on the final piece, which will be a stair right here and a stair right here with some stairs with some slabs, and then we are going to be having a stair right here. And well, this basically finishes the shape and the frame for our roof. Only thing that's left to do is fill in this area and add a little bit of a peak on it. So we are going to have a block over here, followed by a block with a slab on top of it. After that, we are going to have another block outside with a block on top of it. And then we have a block with a stair like this, and a slab like this. And with that, we've created a little bit of a peak. You can also go in and immediately add this little hanging bit. So we are going to be using some stripped dark oak logs for this, like so. And well, with that, this frame is finished. Here is the final look. If you want to, you can pause it. And well, we are going to mirror the exact same thing on the front face of this build. So with that, this is the final look at the frame for our roof. And I've also noticed that I did the peak the wrong way. So it's actually slab with a block, with another block, with a stair on top and a slab on top of it, and a stair peeking out like this. So with that, we've finished the frame for our roof, and we can start filling in the roof itself. Okay, so we're gonna start by building this side, and this is something that will be basically mirrored on all four sides. So we're gonna start by placing a block here, and a block here. Then we're gonna have a slab over here. After that, we're gonna have a stair here and a stair on this side with blocks filling in the area like so. After that, you can place a slab right in between one block up like this, and then we can fill in this area with a block here and a block here. After that, we are going to have a stair right here, and instead of a stair here, we're gonna have a block here, because if you look at this, this is supposed to be like this, so our stair is going on this side. And then we are going to have a stair here and a stair right there. Now, this side doesn't need any more warped wood. Only thing that you can do here is put a slab like this, and then we're just focusing on this side. So on here, we're gonna have a plank right there with a spruce slab with a slab on top of it. After that, we are going to have a plank right here with a stair here, and then, as you can see, basically finishing the pattern of stairs going diagonally. And after that, placing a block here and you've basically finished this. You just need to copy the exact same thing here, here and here. So I hope you managed to follow that along and that you understand everything. I'm going to take a closer look at each of the sides so that you maybe can pause the video and see if you've maybe missed some spot or did something wrong. Now, one question that you may be asking, why are we not doing the same pattern over here? Well, for this side we want the warped wood to show, and because of our shape and the way we built the frame, we are going to be placing a plank so that it is a little bit more easily visible than when the stair will be in its place. So after that we only have this little section to finish, and this is very easy to do. So in this area we are going to be using some spruce materials. So going on like this, and always making sure that the spruce block is one block above our groove block, which is the warp planks, and then you can basically easily finish this like so, having this nice wave, and same thing on the other side. Okay, now the only thing is this side, and well, we are going to be doing this with some smooth sandstone because this is a little bit bigger and this is smaller. So for this, again, we are making sure that our smooth sandstone is one block above our warped planks. So in this case we are going to having actually a block over here, and if you don't like this, as I don't like it either, you can use some birch trapdoor. So placing it right here to give it a little bit of edge, because you can see it is popping out a bit, and then just continuing the same pattern, making sure that it is going one block out. In this case we are going to having a block here. After that, here to create a little bit more interest, as you can see we have a stair, and I can already see that I placed it the wrong way, so this stair will be facing like this. Same thing right here, and then we are going to having two blocks like so, and then you just copy the exact same thing on the other side. Okay, with all of that done, we can go on and add some small manual details, for example some lighting to give it a little bit more light to this build. So if I can do this, I can't apparently because I'm stupid. Okay, doing it like so, and having a little bit of a hanging lantern over here. Also you can place a button right there and a button right here. So for this it doesn't matter which buttons you use, just make sure it's a darker one, and also here make sure it is the lighter one. After that you can just go on and, you know, make those hanging lanterns on each side. Also here you can place a trapdoor if you wish to. On this side we can do the same thing with the hanging lantern, so following on with the grindstone, fence, chain and the lantern. After that you can place some buttons like so, and well, just do the same thing on the other sides. So with that, your Elven starter house is finished. Of course there is the thing that you need to do the interior of your house, and well, I'm not going to go over that. You can do it however you want to, but I will be showing you what I've done. So let's go back where we started. So here we are back with shaders and in front of our Elven starter house. So for this I'll be going over how I did the interior for this house, and well, if you want to you can pause the video and maybe copy the same exact thing. Also I'll be explaining my thought process for this. So as you can see we have a nice open interior right here, and well, some things may be a little bit out of reach for the beginning. For example, blaze rods for this brewing stand, but in general it is a really open area. As you can see we have some storage, not a lot, with some barrels like this. And well, if you're interested how I did this is from Vanilla Twigs. It's the statues or the armor statues, which you can do a tool rack and then you can place your tool on top of it, so it looks like it's hanging right here. Also, as you can see, this doesn't look as flat, so if you will be looking at your walls, I would recommend trying to place some trapdoors like this, so maybe above the doors or maybe above your windows, so that it has a little bit of a pop out and that it isn't as flat. Also, some other things that you can do, you can add some carpets, and well, you can decorate the ceiling, as you can see. So for the ceiling, I've connected the stark oak logs, so if you look at your place, you are going to be having some warped planks like so. So you can place a log here with some stair like this, and then just connect it like so to create a nice little detail that will fill in this area without necessarily making it too crowded. So for some other things that you could do for this is, well, you will need to play with some decorations, maybe some leaves, maybe a lantern like this. I also recommend placing lanterns on barrels or on some stands like this, because they will fill in the area instead of letting them hang from the ceiling. Now for some other things, I've created 2 floors. So I have my attic space and I have the, what's called in English, it is basement, right, the basement. So for the basement, we are going to go immediately there, and the basement is basically your bulk storage. So you can create easily the basement if you follow the same layout as on top. And well, for the basement you can use a little bit of those stripped warped logs to create this nice magical, I would say, feel. It feels really nice, it has a nice atmosphere. And well, for this you can go on with something like this, where create interesting things using some armor stands, a little big combination of stairs, signs, trapdoors, barrels, some bookshelves and so on. Or maybe you can just go on and spam barrels, or if you wish to, you can spam chests. I necessarily don't like chests because, well, they're not full blocks and they can also cause a little bit of an FPS drops if you have too much of the chests in one area. Also here I've placed a little bit of a furnace area, so we have our starting furnaces, our starting things that we'll be needing, some furnaces, blast furnaces and smokers, and all the other things. Also, I would also recommend giving a little bit more details with twisting vines, because, well, they look magical, so placing them anywhere you can and anywhere you can see fit will make it look a little bit more magical than it is. So with the basement done and dusted, we are going to go on the last piece, which is the attic. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that wrong. So the attic is a little bit more crowded, and I'm also basically using this as a bulk storage. As you can see, we have a lot of chests here, a lot of barrels, and some small detailing parts like bookshelves. We also have our bed over here and some other potting things and potting plants as well. And well, yeah, this will be mostly used for you to store things and, well, to spawn over here, as I think this is a nice open area where you will maybe spend most of your time just chilling and, how do you say, yeah, we say vibing right now. Why do I feel like an old man? Yeah, I don't know, why do I feel like an old man for not knowing the word immediately. Okay, so this was a nice Elven house starter base or starter house tutorial. I hope you enjoyed, and well, I hope you managed to build something similar or maybe the same thing as well. And well, I do hope to see you in the next video. And well, I forgot, I need to give you something. Here we go, some warped nylium. Have a nice day.